And now, it's time for Socially Awkward Media with Levack and Goss. Awkward on 104.5 The Team.
All right, this is when we take what you've done, where you have sent us really cool stuff on any of our social media platforms. We recycle it, we give it back to you, because, let's be perfectly honest, there's times that you're just funnier and a little more prolific than we are, and it's all brought to you by our friends at For Your Convenience, where you can return all your bottles and cans. And by the way, you don't have to touch them. That's probably the best part of it. I just like dropping the bags off and let them get the beer and soda on their hands. They're over there on 3rd Ave in Waterville.
Again, if you want to be a part of Socially Awkward Media right now, it's never too late. You can tweet in, you can Facebook, you can do what you want. Remember, at 104.5 The Team on Twitter, at the Jeff Levack on Twitter, at Tom Goz, TOMGOZZ, and also Facebook.com/1045 The Team. We start with Daniel on Twitter. Daniel wrote in and he said, I said it before, don't sleep on Matt Moore.
He rhymed!
I'm saying it now, Miami wins. It's a haiku that half rhymed.
Daniel, you're crazy. Daniel, you're crazy. You're a better rapper than you are a picker of winning football games. I tell you, Pittsburgh's they're gonna stomp. It's gonna be bad. And I don't like Pittsburgh. I don't like Miami either, but I don't like Pittsburgh.
Daniel may be the only Matt Moore fan I've ever met. That is like the delusional,
and his mom.
And the delusional Dolphin fans who have now convinced themselves this week it won't be that bad.
Yeah, like at least like I don't know what Connor Cook is as a delusional Raiders fan. I can pretend that he's going to be like some kind of crazy, rookie phenom who's going to go out there and light the world on fire. We know what Matt Moore is. He's not going to.
Connor Cook, at least you could look back to last year and say he played well for Michigan State. Yeah. I couldn't remember the last time Matt Moore played well or he was relevant.
Well, he was okay. Yeah, I mean, he's okay this year. He's been okay, but I think, let's put it like this. I think the faith in Matt Moore is actually an indictment on Ryan Tannehill. Because Matt Moore is a quarterback. Ryan Tannehill is kind of a quarterback who realistically is probably a wide receiver.
I've been going back and forth with you about the Tannehill Moore thing, but that's the first time it's made me pause to think, if Matt Moore is still having success and we all know the strength of the Dolphins running the football, how is that making Tannehill look any better, right? It's an interesting way to look at it like that. This one I showed you minutes before we did our Upstate Sports Edge hit on Tuesday with our pal Kelly O'Donnell. It came from Money JJ.
What up, Money JJ?
Money JJ wrote, called earlier, Cowboys all day. I would take round 2 if Giants get there. And then all one word, 44 yards to throws to straight playoff Eli, #Super Bowl bound. What Money JJ did is he combined like 8 words into one word to have it have 140
and
characters.
You just read it to me. Like, I still don't understand it. It might as well be that very bottom line of the eye chart that no one with human eyes can read.
Either Money JJ doesn't know how to work Twitter, or it is the best attempt ever to get on Socially Awkward Media by cheating the system on Twitter and getting your point across by not using spaces.
He's lucky you're impressed, because I just gobbledygook.
One of our favorites on Twitter who loves chiming in is our pal Free Josh Gordon.
I love him, man.
FJG. What happened?
People out in the parking lot looking in the window.
Is it
crazy?
Is it traffic guy Vinny?
No, it's it's our Salesforce, which explains why we can't have the lights on most of the day.
He wrote, best things if bowls counted towards playoffs. You wouldn't see players not playing bowl games like Christian McCaffrey. Now,
that's because, you suggested. Right. I think if you decided the playoffs after the bowls are valuable again. And I wasn't even going there, but Free Josh Gordon brings in another great point. Guys like, Christian McCaffrey, Leonard Fournette, they're going to play in their bowl game. They're still not going to play, if they make the playoffs, they'll play. Otherwise, we won't see them at all.
I don't mind if you go half and half. I don't mind if you go half the bowl games count towards the new bowl game. So, like, the Motor City Bowl then becomes, the Sugar Bowl in the next round. So make everybody happy. Every bowl game would mean something.
Definitely. Like, they're too good to me. Like, I've always enjoyed bowls. So the more you can use them and actually have them matter, I'll be happy with.
Linda wrote in, she wrote, Brandon Marshall has to behave because he's on Inside the NFL. He doesn't want to lose that gig. Talking about the diaper reference from yesterday's show.
What channel is Inside the NFL on?
That is on Showtime.
And I can just watch that on free television?
No, that's a premium network you have to pay for.
He don't have to behave, and they don't want him to. They'd prefer if he didn't. They love that. They love the traction that they've gotten off of the dirty diaper analogy.
In some ways, they can make the argument he didn't behave by the dirty diaper analogy, and that's what got the show headlines. That's the reason he was hired, to make headlines, to become the voice inside the locker room. I know what she means by there, that Marshall could have been a lot more graphic in his descriptions, but that is why he was hired, to get exactly what happened right there. Mighty Egghead wrote in again at 1045, the team at the Jeff Levack, at Tom Gaz, TOMGOZZ, if you want to chime in here on Socially Awkward Media. Mighty Egghead wrote in, he wrote, which is more difficult, Levack talking WWE or Gaz talking about the Arizona Fall League? Hashtag Socially Awkward Media.
You in the Fall League.
By far.
Because at one point in my life, I was a wrestling fan. I was 3, but still, the Fall League causes you a level of anger which makes no sense to me.
And the fact that it's
but I enjoy it.
It's almost a thing like a dog when this is called like the placebo effect, right? Where something happens over time, you're eventually like going to have a reaction. Like you hear a bell and you get hungry. When I hear the Arizona Fall League, I want to jump and start yelling and screaming about Pavlov's dog.
Yeah, placebo is medicine that's not really medicine.
Yeah.
But to your point, I think what you really hate about it is when we go out in public, no one comes up to us and references wrestling. Everyone comes up to us and references the Arizona Fall League.
We've had someone, I'm not going to say his name, we had someone at our last live event, said, hi, hello, how's everything? We get back on the air. Someone passed us a note that said, please talk about the Arizona Fall League.
And if it was going on, I would. But it's over for now. All good things must end.
Flanston Hooper tweeted at you and wrote, it's time, Levack. We have a serious talk about sailboat racing as a sport.
It is never going to be that time.
Why was it even tweeted? Why was it tweeted? Did we miss something about sailboat racing?
Listen, clearly Hooper would like a spot on 1045theteam.com doing a podcast on sailboat racing. And I'm willing to negotiate some kind of fee to do that. Because, hey, there might be a niche market for sailboat racing, and we'll get you on the website.
We're not getting enough hot takes about sailboat racing here on the team. We will admit that. We will own that mistake, and we'll apologize for it.
See, me, when I say boat race, it's usually a reference to some kind of drinking contest we're having. So that's why I don't get that very often.
Have you ever heard the term boat race being used when someone gets, like, blown out in some type of event?
Yeah.
I just heard that, like, 6 months ago. I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Like, I used to go to this, I don't think it's around anymore, but it was a beer joint where you get a flight of beer. And we would look at each other and like somebody would scream boat race and we would go. But then it became the other way because I would just drink them so much faster than everybody else. So that's when we took it the other way.
Chuck left you a message right directly to you. He wrote, Miko Grimes would be a great interview, knows her football. If you don't know who Miko Grimes is, she is the wife of Brent Grimes, who plays defensive back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who makes headlines all the time.
Right. We talked about her in depth because of what she said about the Jewish ownership of the Miami Dolphins, where Grimes, her husband, used to play. I'm going to pull the curtain back. Gaz and I had that exact conversation. Gaz, you tracked her down, and she wrote back to you a list of things that she didn't want to talk about.
I will read this exact email word for word from Miko Grimes on the air with you guys, because he tweeted about it and asked. Yeah. Miko Grimes wrote to me on October 24th, quote, I've been on the road with my husband all weekend, so I didn't see this email. I'm interested, so long as I don't have to discuss any Buccaneers players, coaches, front office, or owners in detail.
Yeah, all the things we would want to talk to her about. Like, I don't know if she knows this. I mean, the only thing left is, did she actually say people of Jewish faith?
No, she did not.
Maybe we should. Maybe we should have her on an ambusher. I don't know. Maybe. Possibly.
This is one of my favorite emails I've ever received working here from Miko Grimes.
All the things you want to know, I won't talk about them.
Mr. Proctor wrote in, he wrote, bet, gentleman's bet, Ronda Rousey is, air quote, fighting for the WWE before 2018.
That's a really good bet. Mr. Proctor, I will take you up on that bet. I'll go not till after 2000. So January 1st, 2018, she debuts, I win. If she fights this year in the WWE, you win, Mr. All right, well, Mr. Proctor, let's have a beer on that.
All right, that's out there. Now I'm going to be the one to get,
she's going to fight something one more time. I think she's going to do something.
I'm going to be the person who, has to have, the asterisks in the deal because Brock Lesnar shows up when he feels like it. She could do, 2 events all year. So I don't consider that, a part of the roster. And
it's got to be a match. It's got to be a match. Because she's shown up before and just stood there. If she gets in a fight, no, you know what? I just want to have a beer with Mr. Proctor. So regardless, I'm in.
I think the WWE more likely has her as a future plan than movies. Because I wonder if the allure of Ronda Rousey as an actress is going to wear off now.
I think WWE is a fallback plan. That's why I think this year you see her. She maybe trains for a fight. Who knows if she does it? She shows up in Expendables 27, Fast and Furious 35. What number are we on for all these? Titanic 2.
I'm not going to argue with 35. I think you're right on
Roadhouse 73.
Our own Nick Kessler. You may hear him on a variety of stations on our sisters.
When we have something to give away, it's because of our boy Nick Kessler.
That's right. He tweeted in, I spent years of my mixed martial arts career trying to find Terry Funk pants.
Do you know that he has a belt? He won a title?
Who?
Nick Kessler.
Terry Funk?
No, Nick Kessler won a...
The guy over here I just talked to?
The guy who does our prizes. If you Google him, Nick Kessler, MMA, he fought as the Wolfman or something like that. He's beat some heinies before. He's a bad dude.
So he's won a championship in Michigan
he's got
MMA.
a belt. He's got a belt.
I didn't know he had a belt, Nick.
Yeah. And not just when to hold up his pants.
Hold it up in the office, man. Good for you.
I don't know if he still has it.
I mean, we shouldn't have security at these events anymore if Nick can take people down like that.
I wonder. I bet you he's one of those guys that just snaps. It's probably not safe for us to let him
go.
We
should have someone do that, like an intern or producer, get at Nick and just see
if he can needle away and then he gets choked out in the middle of the office.
Here's the last one coming in here.
Hey, producer Mike James, go bother Nick Kessler.
Don't do that, Mike. No.
With your Duke hat on.
Stay away from him. Tim wrote this in. He wrote, Scott Bakula is also now on NCIS New Orleans. If you don't remember the conversation, I had no clue who in the world Scott Bakula was.
Necessary Roughness, the movie, with Scott Bakula, Sinbad, Kathy Ireland, just to name a few of the amazing stars in that Vessel, that amazing movie, which I'm hoping Ronda Rousey's in the remake. And I said, remember Scott Bakula threw the football and it got stuck in a guy's face mask because he couldn't catch it. And guys, your reply was?
Do you mean Dracula in a cape?
It was Scott Baio. You thought it was Scott
Baio, yeah, in a cape.
And then Mark thinks you're an idiot for not knowing who
Mark wrote I was an idiot for not knowing?
He followed up that comment with you're an idiot for not knowing.
No joke. Again, you and I talked about this off the air a little bit. I am a big fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the TV show on FXX, and it debuted season 12 last night. The whole episode is about Scott Bakula. He's covered in it. His show Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap is oh boy. That's what every show started with. Oh boy. Seriously, what happened, the premise of Quantum Leap, real quick, is he could time travel, but he had to go into somebody else, and it was only during his lifetime. And every time he went somewhere, it was in the worst possible moment of their life. So this first time I said, hey, the Arizona Fall League update. Scott Bakula would pop into you as your existence, and then every time, because at the end of the episode, he would pop into after he fixed something, he would go to another one, and he would go, oh boy. And it was always like the KKK chasing him down a road, or a dinosaur about to eat. It was always something terrible. Oh boy.
Scott Bakula.
Idiot. Not known as Scott Bakula.
I'm not an idiot for not. We could